So here we go again. Introductions are very important wherever you go, whoever you meet, just like interviews for a job. First impression. I go to this new doctor's office, right? I keep my things organized before I get there. All of my medications is in one area. Everything else is laid out in another area. I'm very clean. I'm very fluent. First impressions. You come in, your cognitive skills are tight. You fluent in your speech. And you're facing off with a professional. But the thing is, when I'm subject to racial profiling, disparity, discrimination, whatever, I'm gonna call it out every time. I don't care if it's 1,000,001 times. I'm just unfortunate to be a poor African American 65-year-old man. And I know I'm not the only one subject to the things that I face, but I have to explain to give you an outlet to see things in a different way and how to respond a different way. Because a lot of times, man, what throws the flame throws the wood in the fire that creates the flame and keeps it going is that enough people don't complain. And people don't complain because they don't know how to complain, or they just don't know how to act out. Some people just be angry, man, just holler, scream, break out windows. Some people shoot, cut, and stab. I faced off with this lady at the Oak Street Clinic in Chicago, right? Nice clinic, nice staff. Everybody was professional, but the doctor. Dr. Levine, Levine. And when she came in, everybody else, my blood pressure, everybody was, like I say, professional. But she told me she couldn't administer my medication because it was a controlled substance when I've been deemed legally disabled by a federal judge in 2012. See, by a professional panel or staff. When the state of Illinois had their doctors to contest this, the judge had to weigh out, that's how this goes. This is what you call an adjudication, an injunction by the judge. You have a license for medicine, Dr. Levine. You have a license. And under the law, you have to abide by that law. And it's because I'm saying something now. See, which is in violation of my rights because you did not administer. You contest what the judge legally found me legally disabled. You can't contest that. And what I'm saying is not only that, when you came through, as we was corresponding, you tried to double talk me. Like I wasn't familiar with my paperwork and my medication. It wasn't in my hand. It was sitting over there. Everything I said verbatim off my tongue. You got to understand, man, when you focus on your health, when you focus on your medication, on your exercise, all these different things, this is who you are. This is what you do. And this is what people don't understand. Regardless of who tells you, you can't ignore what's in front of you, which goes back to what I said about introductions. Introduction, look, if somebody tell me something or whatever, I'm going to listen to what you say, right? But a professional now, I'm going to give you an opportunity when you come in front of me, tell me who you are. And I'm going to be unbiased. I'm going to keep in mind what this person said, even though I don't know this person talking, and I don't know you either. So really, I'm neutral. I heard this, and by human nature, we hear things, we just, whatever. But the problem comes about, and it becomes unprofessional. When you take act on the person, right? When you take act on a person without giving that person a proper chance to introduce themselves, you become so biased in racial profiling that you ignore the very obvious in front of you. You ignore the fluency, you ignore the punctuality, you ignore the cognitive skills, you ignore the organization, you ignore everything that's right there in front of you, right? And that becomes a problem. And people say, well, you right, you keep right. Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you something. When you get information from people, even if it's in another professional setting, learn what the appetite of the people that's doing the talking. Learn who they are before you lay here and crucify somebody else. Then understand where they got their source from. Understand that person's appetites. These people might be gamblers. They might be crackheads, wineheads, or whatever. And you'll be doing, like I say, things innocently. And the person who you doing something to might be just like you if you're a good person. Because you got to understand, when you try to double talk that person and you put that person in the profile, you so convinced of whatever, you become prejudiced You try to make the person fit a category that they ain't even in. So, well, you didn't say that right. You didn't spell that word right. How many medicines you take today? How many ones did you take? You take one, you take two. See, they try to double talk, even though you're talking, and then they look shocked like, damn, he said that. Right. But everything is right there. Your confusion comes from the outlet. See, listen, when you took your medicine, your license, just like everything, when you get a degree, associate, bachelor's or whatever, right? You got to go through certain extraneous tests, man, to take. Confidentiality, you know what I'm saying? Just laid back, man. Professional. See, that's what that is. And when you don't, we have a breakdown in the system, man. Because see, then your colleagues, your subordinates, see, the people who work around you, they see you, man. And they know it's inappropriate. Everybody else is doing their function, from the receptionist to the maintenance people to the janitor. Everybody is functioning, doing their part, but you. And you supposed to really be the chief, or one of the chiefs. See, now I gotta take out today and write you up and talk about you. Because your office, by the way, sent me a form asking me, what do I think about the first visit? I think the first visit was excellent, man, except for the doctor. Dr. Levine, Dr. Levine, Dr. Levine. I'm making sure, Levine, except for you. And I'm not angry or mad at you. It's just that it makes me work harder, man. I'm doing, like now, I'm doing the video. I could be doing something else. I shouldn't have to do this, man. But every time I run into these different places that's, behind these closed doors, when you take you take it upon yourself to treat people according to the way you want, subjectively, it's illegal, man. You can't be in a position or have a license for medicine and treat people biased. You can't do it, man. See what I'm saying? Because you're going to have problems along the line, man. Malpractice and everything else, man. With that subjective attitude, trying to force people to be the way you want them to be or to fit a category, and listening, talking on phone calls to people, not understanding the motive behind the phone call. Homosexualities and all kind of stuff going on behind the scenes, man, that's trying to manipulate. And you trying to use your power because when you're dealing with poor people, you're dealing with minority or people that's uneducated, you figure you can do what you want to do. The law don't apply to these people. Right, it doesn't. It doesn't apply to them. But like I said once before, ignorance of the law is no excuse. It don't apply to them if they don't know that it applies to them. That's where your problem is at now.